Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. I am Nancy and I am gardening in a zone 7. I'm actually just a few miles from the Tennessee line, so we get Tennessee gardeners because we have pretty much the same gardening zone, and I'm just so happy to have all of you as subscribers. So today's vlog is on buying plants off of a clearance or a discount rack. I just wanted to give you some tips and show you, I bought these 3 plants today. And when I was shopping for these are some of the things that I considered. The first thing that I noticed is that it's by the brand Proven Winners, and I know that this is a reputable company. So this happens to be a Salvia. I know that a Salvia is a perennial, which means that it'll come back in my garden year after year. Now, when I was looking at this plant, the only thing that I really noticed was it had some dead leaves. Actually, we can just kind of pick them off and clean the plant up with a little pair of nippers. I looked in the plant. I did not see any bugs or any mold or mildew on the plant. And you know, I not only do this for discount plants, but when I'm buying any plant, I look it over well and make sure that the plant is in good health. So what I am going to do to this plant is just clean it up a little. Remove any leaves that look like they may not be in good shape. Okay, this looks pretty good. Oh, here's a couple I missed after I turned it around. Make sure there's no dead leaves on top of your plant. So the next thing that I am going to be concerned about are the roots. So I'm going to gently lift this up. This plant is not root bound. Now I'm planning on putting it in my garden. If this plant were root bound, I would probably go ahead and up pot it to another pot, and you would want to do that with any plant that you're buying. If it's a house plant especially, get it into a larger plant. So I will give this a good water, and I'm going to try to actually get it in the ground the next day or two. So I'll probably just give it a good drink, and then when I notice that it's putting on new growth, that's when I will fertilize it. So let's look at the second plant. Okay, again, it's a Proven Winners. That is a company that I like and I trust and I buy from a lot. And if I can find Proven Winners that look this good on clearance, I'm going to buy these all day long. So this happens to be a daisy, and I'm going to do the very same thing. I'm going to clean up the dead or dying leaves off of it. Just clean it out a little bit. You want the plant to put its energy into growing and producing blooms and not into these dying leaves. So we'll get that cleaned up. Here again, I'm going to gently lift it up. This is a little bit root bound. This is just a little bit root bound. So since I'm going to be planting it in my garden, I will scratch this when I get ready to put it in the ground. But for now, I'll leave it in the container, and I will water these and make sure there's a saucer under them so they get a good drink of water. And again, I'll wait until I see this putting on growth or blooms before I start to fertilize it. This is my last and final plant. Look at this beautiful lily. I have these, but I don't have these colors. I think I might have paid $3 for this. There is just nothing wrong. I don't know if they just had too many. I don't know why this is on clearance, but this lily will definitely, it'll do fine. I mean, I'm certain it's not pot bound, and it'll do just fine. I just picked a little bit of some dead leaves off right here. So I hope that this has helped you. I know it's just a wonderful feeling when we rescue plants. We feel like we're saving the plant, and that's always a good thing. And as you do this, and as you grow in your experience, you can look at a plant and go, you know, that's probably too far gone. If it's, you know, sometimes you might find plants for a quarter. I found a whole flat of garden phlox for $1 each. They looked a little bit rough, but for $1 for a flat, I took a chance on them. Every one of them have done fine. I brought them home, I cleaned them up, made sure they were watered, started giving them a little light fertilizer. They're fine. So that's really all I can think of that you need to do. Like I said, just look at them, you know, make sure that they're not just in terrible shape. You know, all of these stems are upright, and that's a good sign. So, and now that I've cleaned them up, they really don't look that bad. So I'm excited. I've got 3 new plants to put in my garden. And then I also found this larkspur, and I'll just show it to you. I thought this was so pretty. And it's a blue. You know, we don't have a lot of blue flowers in our garden. I actually planted the herb borage this year for the bees, and it has a really pretty blue flower, and I thought this would be pretty next to the borage. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, I always go and look at the seeds. And yes, I know that we start seeds back in late winter, and now we're hardening those off and putting those in our garden, but now we're directly sowing seeds. And this happened to be a giant double violet queen zinnia. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And the greatest thing about this is I'll be able to save the seeds. So once I introduce this to my garden, I'll have the seeds that I can just grow year after year after year. So that's all I have for you today. I hope everyone is having a good week. I hope you're enjoying getting out and getting your gardens planted. I'm sure you're pulling a lot of weeds, you're putting down mulch, and we're all doing this together. So thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good evening. Hey y'all, I thought I was ready to end this video, and then I walked past these 2 containers, and I thought I would show you all what I've done and talk about this just a little bit. I have quite a few containers that I like to plant up, and for the longest time I would use annuals, and I was just spending a fortune trying to fill my pots. So the last couple of years I have started putting in some plants that are perennials, and here are 3 that I really like. This is tansy, this is an herb, this is yarrow, and this is Creepin' Jenny. Now I also use hostas and different flowers, but there's 2 containers here, and the only thing I have added was this variegated potato vine and this coleus. And I believe I have an elephant ear in there. A friend gave me some elephant ears, and I'm pretty sure I put an elephant ear in there. But if you are looking to scale back the amount of money that you spend on annuals, this is a great way to fill your pots. And this tansy is also known to keep mosquitoes away. So that's another added advantage to that. This is another idea I wanted to share with you. For several years I had a fairy garden in my backyard, and I just found it really hard to maintain, and my daughter wanted a fairy garden, so I ended up giving her most of my things. I kept a few pieces. And then a friend gave me this little picket fence and chicken coop with chickens and baby chickens, and I thought, you know, I really do want to incorporate that into my garden, so how can I do it? And what I ended up using is this hanging basket that's rather large. It's at eye level, it's on the path going from the kitchen into the deck, so you pass right by it, and everybody who has seen it has just loved it. So maybe that's another idea that you can use for decoration in your garden. I wanted to show you just a few things in the garden. This is a clematis, and I've always heard that you put something around the base of a clematis. They like to have their feet covered. That's what we say. So I actually have it covered on both sides, and as you can see, it is just doing wonderfully. This is another clematis that is doing well, and you know, I don't cut my clematises back. I know there's 3 kinds, and some you do cut back, some you don't, and I just don't cut mine back, and I've always had great luck with it. Now, right next to the clematis is some cucumbers, and they already have flowers. You can see the flowers. And I had them this archway to grow up, but the clematis has decided to take over, and it looks like the cucumber is wanting to go up the little rooster windmill. And then I'm going to show you my foxglove again. I came out this morning and I counted, and I'd be doggone if I didn't have 13. So I am just absolutely thrilled that I have finally, after all these years, are able to grow foxglove in my garden. I'm not sure if I've showed you these. It's some type of bell flower. A friend gave it to me. She said that she got it out of the woods. She thought it was invasive, so I put it in the container, but I haven't really noticed that it spreads that much, so I think I may put some out in the garden this year. And this is the tansy that I was telling you all about earlier that I use in my flowers, and I actually have 2 pots of it here, and I give it away. I just give it away all the time. This is the last thing that I wanted to show you, and then I really will say goodbye for this video. But this is the yarrow that I was showing you. This plant the butterflies really like this, but I'm using it now in my containers. I'm using it in cut flowers. Right behind it, I have some of the yarrow, some of the tansy for green foliage, and then my main flowers are these peonies, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. Look at those. I made this bouquet for my birthday, so it's actually, today is Tuesday. I made this Saturday, and you can see how nice it looks. And when I cut the peonies for flowers, I cut them when they're not quite fully opened. That way you'll have some that continue to open in your arrangement. So that's what I wanted to show you all, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing this. If you would, please like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps with Facebook algorithms. And you all probably understand that a whole lot better than I do, but somehow it helps. Anyways, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next vlog.